everyone. We are the Gratitude Girls.
The Gratitude Girls are in the house. Hi, Lori. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, Catherine?
I'm great. I'm going to jump right into it. Do you use an egg timer? Do you
Do you
remember
know
those?
what an egg timer
Yeah.
is?
Do you remember those? Like there are people on this call that are going to say or watching tonight, they don't know what that is. Let me explain who I am first, and then you'll know why we're talking about egg and timers. My name is Catherine Asaro Myers, affectionately known as Rara. I like to walk into the room and say, Rara's in the house. I'm broadcasting to you live tonight from beautiful Niagara on the Lake, Ontario, Canada. I'm here with my amazing partner.
And I am Lori Del Querdecki, and I am outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
So the reason why we're talking about egg timers is we want to talk to you about time. And if you eat eggs, you probably time them. How long does it take for your egg to cook in order for you to eat it? That translates into time management. So we're going to use that analogy about flipping an egg timer. It's a glass tube that's bell-shaped where little granules of sand start at one end, you flip it over. It has two flat sides with two plastic sort of caps on it, and it's usually for 3 minutes. So once upon a time, this is how we cooked eggs, called the 3-minute egg. In your time management, you might be using, this could be your egg timer these days, my new Sparkle phone. This could be what you do. Now, you don't turn it upside down, but you set it. Look at that, of course. So you set it so that you could set your timer and it will tell you what to do. An egg timer doesn't have a sound. You'd have to watch it. So in time management, you have to watch it. Imagine if your egg timer, the sand, the granules came all the way down and you were doing something else, you would not have a 3-minute egg anymore. So it might be ruined. It might not be the way you like it. That's the same in business, right, Lori?
Yeah, absolutely. And the same thing, you need to set timers for everything you do. Like Catherine and I, we have so many trainings around this, like literally probably 20 different trainings just on this subject. But we set timers for everything. We put everything we do on our calendar. And our calendar is the only notification that goes off and dings us to keep us on track and keep us in line. And even when if you have that relaxing time and you get lost in the scroll, right? Set a timer so you don't get lost in that scroll. Unless you just have all the time in the world and you just can scroll for hours and hours. But most people can't. And so if you post something and then you start to scroll a little bit, set a timer. So that way, once you start scrolling, you get off. You scroll for a little bit, that's okay if that's what relaxes you, what you love to do, but then set that timer and get off.
I love that you brought that up. And Lori and I, our language, when we speak to each other, we will talk to each other and say, I'll be back at 9:05. I'll be on by 9:06. By 7 after, I won't be late. We actually speak in minutes to each other, not generally speaking, I'll speak to you later. We give each other exact time. We are our own egg timers. So in terms of social media, that's one really good tip. Business, having a conversation, setting a meeting with someone. If you say the meeting is 15 minutes and it goes to 30, know that on the half hour, on the hour, whatever that timing is, get off. Get on, get off. Why? Because think about your 3-minute egg. If you go over time, it's overdone. So, Lori, let's give two more tips before we have to go on time management. So, I love the social media. So, it's great to talk about conversations with people. Just know when to exit, have an exit strategy. I have two more topics, but I'll wait till after you.
Yeah, one of mine is just if you do actually get on the phone and talk to someone, like Catherine and I were on a phone call earlier, and we had something to get onto in a minute. So we set a timer to the same thing because we can get wrapped up in talking to each other, right? And then we can be like, oh goodness, it's been 2 hours, right? No, but we don't ever do that because we can't, because we're on a schedule, right? And so if you get on calls with someone and you or the other person could tend to be a little gabby, make sure you set your timers if you do have appointments or schedules that you need to go on to something else.
Yes, and the point that you made that might have been slightly overlooked, we oh boy, we call each other, we text each other, we communicate about when we're going to speak. So if you have an appointment that you're going to make with someone and you just happen to pick up the phone, you could go to their digital calendar. We will text each other and say, is this a good time? So we want to personally get upfront and comfortable with one another as to what is a good time. And maybe Lori's schedule has a 5 o'clock opening. But before I take that, I'll check with her. So I don't assume anything. When it comes to time, I check in. I like to pretend I'm going into the heated pool and make sure I know what the temperature of the water is. I put my toes in the water, I check on the time, and then I jump in. Let's talk about exercise because I just came from a yin class. I'm going to be talking a lot about yin, so I won't go into it tonight. But when I go to my class, if I'm not 15 minutes early, I'm considered late. And if I go on time, the door closes. So what about things that you have to be on time or you lose out? You can't be late. Sometimes they're live streamed classes. You can't just walk in whenever you want. The camera's rolling. So think about how you get into your timed events. Do you just get in and have an excuse like, oh, I'm in my technology or my dog? Or if you walk into meetings like that, that's the energy you're bringing into the room. Try being ready. How about being early? Be so early that you're waiting for someone. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and also like Catherine and I on our small group training where we train as a group, we shut the Zoom door because we're teaching, we're coaching, we're training, we're talking, we have to pay attention. And when the little Zoom thing pops up and say, oops, somebody entered your room, that that distracts you. It takes you off course. And it's not fair to the people that were diligent and on time for you to have to repeat things or let somebody in the door or whatever. So in a meeting where there's the actual door or in the Zoom room where there's the virtual door, still, if you're late, that door gets shut.
I love that. That's just the way it is. Know that there are people that are going to stick to their egg timers. All right, Lori, let's wrap it up. How should people get with us? How could they get with us if they like what they heard?
Yeah, so we do this training every single Monday night, free tips and training. So if you have missed a few, or if you new here and you've never heard it, go to gratitudegirls.com, or you can follow us, Gratitude Girls on YouTube, Gratitude Girls on your favorite podcast, Gratitude Girls on TikTok, Gratitude Girls on Instagram and on Facebook, all the places. Follow us, like us there, listen to, we have how many years of trainings do we have? We have over 12 years of trainings now on our websites. So gratitudegirls.com is probably the easiest place to see all the back ones, but go there, check it out. You can also see we have trips and retreats for 2025. We are booking now. If you came to our last retreat, it was amazing. We had so many wonderful people there, so much fun. So if you want to get live and in person with us, we would love to invite you to one of those. And we also would love to invite you if you would like some personal one-on-one coaching. We do it virtually. We also do it in person if you want to fly us out to wherever you're at or wherever you want to meet us. And check it out, gratitudegirls.com. And thanks so much for tuning in, everyone.
Yeah, thank you. Come travel with us. We'll love that. Have a good night.